we became a country of hoarders. Let's think about the garage. What is the garage designed for in a home? And some of us have 2 and 3 car garage doors. So, some of us have really huge garages, right? What is the garage set up for? The garage is set up for vehicles, cars. But of course, majority of us Americans, instead of driving or parking our cars into the garage, we use the garage as a storage unit. A storage unit. Our country, our people here in America, most of us have more stuff than we can handle. And I'm guilty of that too. More stuff in our garages, and even in each and every room in our home, we have more things in our home than we can store, than we can handle. Could you imagine that? If we were to get rid of all the stuff that's in our garage, whether we sell it, give it away, most likely give it away because there are people who need a lot of the stuff that we have stored up in our garages. Literally, we can help somebody else that's in need. Not only that, we wouldn't have to park our cars on the streets or in a parking lot. And I have some notes here. So across America, there's roughly 14.9 million abandoned homes. So as a whole, across the United States, we have abandoned homes. Do you think homeless people could occupy those homes? They can. See, I believe we mimic what someone else has done as a country, because America also hoards a lot of times perfectly good abandoned homes that could be occupied. Literally. For instance, China is pretty much living in a drawer. They probably rent like a room that's no bigger than maybe your bathroom. And this is where it's probably going to get. And believe it or not, we have people living literally in storage units. I'll let that sink in for a minute. Storage units. And it's not just men, it's women now too that are homeless. It's not only women and men, it's also children. Children are homeless today. Families are homeless today. And if we don't watch it, one day it's going to be you. One day it's going to be me. I like looking at 2020's like investigation shows where they talk about people being unalived and whatnot, and they investigate it, right? And I often hear a lot of people say, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! Not in my neighborhood. This is Pleasantville. That happens in the hood, in the inner cities. It doesn't happen here." And of course, sometimes we may think, and it's easy to think, nah, it ain't gonna happen to us, right? Homelessness. No, that happens to the low end people. That happens to the poor. That happens to the uneducated. That happens to people in the hood. It doesn't happen to people like us, the upper class or the middle class. It can happen to you, just like that. Yes, we're all special in our own way, but we ain't that special. It can happen to you. So if we don't figure this out and gain control and make stuff happen, it's only going to get worse. You today, me tomorrow. Or me tomorrow, you today. We could prevent this. We don't have to continue to go down this trajectory, this road. We could pick a new path. A lot of times, I've experienced tragic has to take place in order for things to change, in order for everybody to have a roof over their head, food, clothing, and shelter. Maybe something extremely tragic has to take place. It's kind of like, I remember as I was a kid growing up, I would always see like a cross in the intersection, or like a four-way intersection with stop signs and whatnot. And I remember certain areas would always, like, cars would always have accidents with each other, right? Collisions. And it seemed like it took a lot of deaths to take place throughout the years for some areas or some cities to put up stoplights. And that's why I'm saying something drastic has to happen in order for us to change our system to make it work better for everybody. Yes, I'm a firm believer that everybody should have a roof over their head. Everybody should have clothes on their back and food. That should be a natural thing, is a word I'm looking for. A natural right. You know, we become a country where we're starting to, well, not starting, we're already there, where we just don't give a shit. As long as it doesn't happen to me or to us, it's easy for us to look at other people and see them homeless. You know, I remember years ago when I used to jog, I literally saw a homeless dude laying on the sidewalk, just laying on the sidewalk. And it was out in the open, so he probably did it because it makes him feel safe. I see throughout the day homeless people walking to and fro. A lot of times they don't have a belt, so they're like holding their pants up in the front, and in the back it's just sagging. Or they got a blanket over them. And of course, we're taught, again, these are bad people, you know. And if you hear snoring in the background, it's because of my pug. It's not me. It's my pug. He's pretty boisterous when he sleeps. He snores like a human being. But we're gonna have to change, and we're gonna have to start making things happen as a country, or it's gonna be all of us. When it affects one of us, it should affect all of us. This is Mike Chevalier, keeping it simple and precise.